Welcome back to another episode of Haas Talks. Joining me in studio today, Maddie Gjerness, bougie like Maddie. Maddie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So for those that may not know, you haven't been running micros for very long. You're the 14G. You're from, we say Seattle, we say wherever, Washington, whatever. You get mad every time I say it. But right now you're from Mount Vernon, Missouri, is where you call home. Tell the folks how you got started, because I've got to hear some of the stories. So I know the Crumbs owe us a big amount of respect for pulling us into this deal. But kind of give people the breakdown of how you got started in quarter midgets and everything.
So we were neighbors with Crumbs, like 4 houses down, and so they asked us, "Hey, do you want to watch a race?" And I asked if I can go, and I went. And my brother raced for a couple of years, grew out, and then I started racing because I was old enough to.
So your brother was the first one out of the Gjernesses that got the opportunity to race, and he did the asphalt sprint cars. And did he do quarter midgets too, or were you the first quarter midget racer?
He did quarter midgets for 2 years, but he grew out of it. He got too tall for it.
So for those that may not know, like, quarter midgets are a little bit different than what we have here in the micro world. How different are quarter midgets versus a micro?
Well, quarter midgets, they're asphalt, so you have to do the same line like the whole time around. And most of the classes, you just keep your foot down. There's really no breathing to it like these do. And it's not like you can move in a different line. You have to keep consistent in the same line.
Now, whenever they talk about quarter midgets, all I think about is it has a piece of paper with a number on the nose, and they hang out the side of the car. Is that every class? Do they all hang out like that?
Yeah, it just helps keep the car down, and it just helps keep us going around it through the corners, just so then it has more speed through the corner.
So in quarter midgets, you got to do that for quite a few years until you had to let it go. Olaf and whatever the princess's name. I just know Olaf because he's cool like me. But whenever you finished with quarter midgets, was it that you were too old and you couldn't race it anymore, or was it just that you were ready to move on and try something different?
I was just ready to move on and try something different than quarter midgets.
And so you moved into junior sprints, and you ran junior sprints for, was it a year?
Just 6 races. I grew too big for it. My dad had to pick me up from my armpits and yank me out of the car because I couldn't fit in it anymore.
Oh, man. So you outgrew the junior sprints.
Yeah.
So you start running 600s, and you're running tracks, Deming?
I was running Deming for my first year, and then I kind of moved out to California just to see the competition there.
Okay, so you're running Deming and you're running California, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let's go try the Midwest. Let's go run the Now 600 Speed Week. And that was your first experience coming to Oklahoma versus the competition, and it's a bigger field of cars here versus where you were racing. What was that initial thought like whenever you very first roll into Oklahoma? You race Creek, you race Caney, you race here. What was the thought process of all those different tracks compared to what you came from?
These tracks were quite a bit bigger than California tracks, so I was kind of nervous because I didn't know how to drive them yet, but I figured it out slowly. And then when I came to Port, it was a lot like Deming because of the corners, how hard they are to drive, so I kind of was used to that already.
So in talking in the past couple of weeks or so, you say that Deming, that this reminds you a lot of Deming, and this is why you like this track so much. So whenever you came here, you were under a restrictor. Mm-hmm. Well, now this year you're going A class, you're going non-wing, you're going outlaw non-wing, you're doing all the bigger classes. How big of an adjustment has it been for you? Now, I know for those that may not know, you do have a driving coach, somebody that you've been friends with for a long time, that just, you guys have your own lingo, you have the relationship built up to understand each other. Caitlin Hammer, the zip tie queen is what we may call her. She may knock us down for saying that one live on the Haas Talks, but we'll say it to her face. I swear to God we will. But so you and Caitlin have this relationship and this bond built up, how has it been transitioning into the bigger classes, running with the more cars?
I mean, there's not that big of a difference. It's just the drivers, they have more of the smarts sort of thing. Like, they're grown up more, so they know kind of what they're doing, and it's not like super hard where you think that something may happen. You can just go in and hope for the best.
Right. So also new this year, you've teamed up with some guy he's won like 2 or 3 races. Gosh, what is his name? His name's what is it? Frank Flood. There we go. Frank Flood Racing. So now you not only have the driver coach and the relationship there, now you're building a relationship with almost like a crew chief, car chief, a guy that has a lot of knowledge, especially here at Port City Raceway. What has that been like for you? I mean, as far as like learning and watching and getting coaching tips from the legend, the GOAT, Frank Flood.
He's been super good, and sometimes he'll just joke around, and it's pretty fun. He's a great person, and he's super relaxed with it. He's not like aggressive by telling me what to do. I like the way
his teaching style.
Yeah, his teaching style.
So this year again, you're breaking out of the box, right? Like, it seems like you came to the Midwest, you ran some races here and there, you ran some of the bigger tracks, and now you're going the next bigger step, right? And you're going to these races where, like you said, these drivers are a little bit more confident. They know what they're working with. But it's also the level of competition that you're now racing against is pretty wild. I mean, you're going to all these huge shows where it's 10,000 to win, 15,000 to win, all these big shows. Do you feel like that is helping you grow faster than if you would have just maybe stuck to like maybe running Port or I-44 for a year? Do you feel like going and racing against the best is helping you in what you needed the most?
Absolutely. Just because I also watch the people that are ahead of me, and I can learn from what they're doing for like passing or line adjustment, and just get that grasp and then use it in the next race.
For you, what is racing about? Why do you like racing? Why is racing what you want to do? You don't do sports, you don't do video games, you don't do things like that. What is it about racing that's like, hey, that's what I'm doing, that's my hobby?
Well, I just like it a lot. I also have a lot of friends in it from all over, and they're just like family to me. They all know me. Some of them have known me since I was 4.5. So you've grown into it, right? How old are you now? Like 7.5, 8? 14.
4. Whoa, that's a long time. You've been doing it a long time, man. You taught me something new. So what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate like, this is what I want to do. I mean, do you want to be like a asphalt Formula 1 driver? Do you want to be a dirt track driver? Like, do you want to go to school and become a doctor, and just the racing is like a stepping stone to get you to being a lawyer? Or, like, what's the ultimate goal for a bougie like Maddie?
I don't really have a goal. I just like it a lot, and this is my only social life with it because I'm in online school.
Right. So you're just living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really planning. I mean, you're 14 years old. You're not really thinking about like, oh, what am I going to do whenever I grow up? You're still in that phase of like, you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of racetracks do you like? Do you like the small bull rings that have the banking, or do you like the bigger tracks where you can kind of get the speed built up? And
I like the smaller tracks. I'm kind of used to smaller tracks. I also like some big tracks because of the speed, how much you carry.
Right. What's been the biggest challenge for you running non-wing? Because I know that this is your first year really running non-wing. You got to come out here to Port City Raceway and test a little bit one afternoon, and talking to your dad, he's like, this is our first time going non-wing. And I'm sitting up in the suites watching, and I'm like, dude, you look really comfortable and you look like a natural. Like, has it been a huge challenge for you to adapt the wing to non-wing ratio? Kind
of, because you have to use a lot of throttle control and have to get used to that and be smooth with it.
So for you, are you a fan of like a heavy track or a dry slick track?
Heavy track.
Heavy track, you like to be throttled down all the way.
Yeah.
Are you like tops up here, bud, or are you like, let's get around the bottom and go the shortest distance around?
I've been getting used to the top, but I've been going back and forth. There's no real like I'll just do that and stick with that. I just go back and forth and see what's the best.
So being your first year in non-wing, do you like the non-wing more than the wing now, or do you like to prefer the wing?
I like non-wing. It's pretty fun. Winged, you don't have to really do much, so I really like non-wing because you could do more with it.
It takes more driving and more focus and a little bit more skill, test your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an early morning girl, or are you like a night owl? Do you like to stay up late?
I stay up late, but sometimes I'll still wake up early in the morning, like
Right.
7.
So walk me through like a typical race day. Like we raced last night. Today. What time you went to bed? About I think it was like 12. 12
Yeah.
You left the fun zone and you went night. So you went to bed about 12. What time did you get up this morning?
Like 8:30.
Was that the alarm clock going off, or was that the dogs barking?
Neither.
Neither. You
I just wake up. Like
you just
that.
woke up. Internal clock went off. You're up. Now, whenever you wake up, are you one of these people that like gets on the phone immediately and like social media, update the Snapchat? Hey guys, I woke up. Going to brush my teeth. Or you like? Do you kind of mellow and then maybe have like a Pop-Tart or like some cereal or?
I just wake up, check the time, and then just get out of my pajamas and eat breakfast.
Okay, so you eat breakfast. You get ready for the day. What time did you roll out of the motorhome today?
Probably 10 to take out the trash.
Okay, so you took out the trash at 10. At the time right now is like 2 o'clock. So between 10 and 2, did you make like a bean burrito? Are you like a junk food junkie? Are you like a health nut? You prefer tuna fish over a burrito, or like?
I'm not really a health nut or a junk food person. I just eat whatever.
Do you get a sweet tooth? Do you ever like just like, I can't wait to have a cookie or like a brownie or like?
Sometimes, yeah.
And are you like would you rather have cookies over brownies, or would you rather have cake over cookies and brownies? Like, what kind of sweet tooth do you get? What's your favorite like sweet tooth craving? What's the fix?
Brownies.
Brownies?
Yeah.
Are you one of those that like, do you like the ones like on the outside, if you make a pan of brownies, do you like the crusty or do you like the inside edge?
The inside has the most moisture.
Bro. She likes the moisture on the racetrack and the moisture in the brownies. She's smart. She is absolutely smart. Do you drink a lot of water, or are you a soda pop like nut?
I drink a lot of water. Sometimes I'll drink Sprite at home or at a restaurant.
Yeah. But nothing out of too crazy. Do you ever go wild on energy drinks? Like, oh man, you start getting kind of like Frank Flood. Have you ever noticed like if Frank doesn't have his Monster, like he starts getting all weird and his hat just keeps on going further and further around? If you ever see his hat over here, just hand him a Monster. It's kind of like the Snickers commercial. Dude, you're hungry, eat this, and it changes into a different person. That's Frank Flood for you. That's a known fact for everybody. It's a known fact, but Maddie's still maybe learning. So not really into energy drinks or anything like that. Favorite food, like ultimate food. If I'm like, Maddie, come on, we're going to go to your favorite place tonight. We're going to go celebrate because you fed Frank a right rear.
I don't really have a favorite food necessarily.
Maddie, come on. You've got to have something that's like a go-to meal like.
Like the Lodge. I'll get meatloaf.
Oh, what?
Meatloaf.
You go the
Mashed
Lodge
potatoes.
and meatloaf. Okay, so for those of you watching the show that may not be in the Tulsa area or whatever, there's a restaurant here called the Lodge, and it's literally like right across the street from the Hard Rock, which we're like 3 miles away from the Hard Rock, and the Lodge is on point. Like, you can go there for drinks, you can go there for dinner, lunch, whatever. But you go for the meatloaf?
Meatloaf, mashed potatoes.
Okay, so Maddie suggests the meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I'm going to say the quesadilla. Like, that's my go-to. The quesadilla is really good. They have good salads, but, like, the salads are a little bit different. The lettuce that they put in the salads, and I'm not a fan of it's a fancy lettuce. But anyway, we're getting off on, like, a food tangent here. And I could talk about food all day because I'm an absolute foodie. I mean, I work out so I can eat a lot, or I just eat a lot. But anyway, so back to Maddie, because this is the episode about Maddie. You're not really a health nut. Do you like work out or like?
I've been starting to work out. We just got the workout equipment because we just had moved to Missouri and we got it set up. So I've been working out when I can.
Yeah. Getting kind of beefed up and getting ready.
Especially when there's a lot of long weekends. I have to wait and then do the next week. If it's a weekly show,
right.
I can work out during the week.
So in school, you say the racing is your social life because you do online schooling. Do you like online schooling more so than like going to school and have to worry about like just kids being weird?
I like online school just because I can go at my own pace. I don't have to worry about being late for something.
Right?
I can just go at my own pace and know that I can not be late for really anything.
Right. So now you're 14. You're going in. You're going to be a freshman, right?
Yep.
By technicality. What's your subject like? What are you really good at, and what do you struggle at?
I sometimes struggle, but I'm also good at math and science.
Bro, math was my absolute worst. Like I had to go to summer school for geometry. I hated my life that summer, but I did that. My favorite subject was recess and lunchtime because I was really good at that. Like really, really good. Outside of racing, like, are you into like anything else? Like, what do you do for fun whenever you're not racing? Whenever you have the weekend off, what are you wanting to do? Like, are you wanting to hang out and make a bracelet, or like do arts and crafts, or
I just chill out for a little bit and just take time to myself. I'll just hang out.
yeah? So for you're young, but there's still kids younger than you that are just getting started in racing. Like, do you have like a piece of advice or something that you could like maybe tell a young kid that's just getting their start, or maybe something that you could tell mom and dad that you can't tell mom and dad that you probably really want to tell mom and dad? They're not going to watch this. Turn it down.
I mean, just don't give up on what's happening. Like, if you're having a rough time, don't give up. I've had a lot of rough luck this season, but I haven't gave up, and it worked out last night.
Yeah.
I had good luck last night, so, I mean,
I like it. That's so simple. Don't give up. Keep on going, because you never know. Bad luck's going to be there all the time, and sometimes you can turn bad luck into good luck. So that's Maddie Gjerness right here on Haas Talks.